In today's video, we are going to walk through how to play Codenames, the ultimate game of figuring out and deducing using clues from the Spy Master. First, we're going to go through how to set up the game. Then we're going to show you what you need to know to win, as well as gameplay and additional rules. Stay to the end though, because I have also learned a fun house rule that I think you're going to enjoy as well. Let's get started with the setup. But there are actually 2 bags, but I'm only taking out one because you only need a few. Okay, and just take everything out, and when you first get the game, these are all in sheets, so just undo the sheets until they're individual pieces like this and lay them out. And using these cards, you're going to create a 5x5 grid, just like this. And you can place the remaining pieces to the side. And there's also this transparent one, which I'm sure is impossible to see on film, but it is a little piece that you're just going to put on the side, and we'll get to that in just a moment. And then you have this timer. This is optional, but I'd have it close by just in case. It is time to make teams. So split up into 2 teams, and then of those 2 teams, each team should pick one person that's going to be the Spy Master. They're going to be on this side of the board, while all the other team players are going to be on the other side. Once those 2 players are situated and you are ready to start playing, you can take a card randomly from this deck, and the Spy Master will place it like so in that little transparent peg that I told you the camera can't see. But now you know it's actually there because it's doing something. Okay, and on this card, you're not going to show any of your teammates. The only people that can see the front side of this card is the Spy Masters. To walk you through how to play though, I am going to show you, make it a little bit easier by placing the card down like this. Again, during gameplay, no one on your team can see this, only the Spy Masters can see it. As you can see, there is a 5x5 grid, which should seem very familiar since we have a 5x5 grid up here as well, and they correlate. So you've got this top left corner is the top left corner here. So this red correlates with this red, or with this word called says play. And a cool thing about this is you've got the word saying play is facing one way, and the exact same word is on the back side in a slightly lighter color, also saying play. So it doesn't matter what side of the table you are on, you can see the word. You don't have to worry about reading upside down, which of course I always find myself reading upside down because I forget that there is this light colored word as well. Just trying to make things hard on myself, I guess. So as a Spy Master, you decide who's going to be on the red team and who's going to be on the blue team. And based on that, there's an extra card in here. Here we go. See how this blue one has red sunglasses? Well, if you flip it over, red with blue glasses, whereas the other cards are red on both sides or blue on both sides. Now, these lights on the outside indicate where this card is going to go, which this is blue, so there's going to be an extra card on the blue team. It also indicates what team is going to go first. So blue's team is going to go first. As a Spy Master, you're going to be looking at this card and thinking of different ways of coming up with clues as a Spy Master so that your agents can go out and find them. So what is your goal, or at least what is the way to win this game? The goal is to cover up or uncover or cover all of your agents before the other team does. So you want to distribute all of your cards onto these pieces before the other team does. So how do we play? Let's talk about turns of play. There's 2 teams, right? There's 2 Spy Masters. team blue, team red. The spy master will say one word that is a clue for the other agents to figure out, and that one word will be followed by a number. Let's say, just quickly going through this, figuring something out, let's say the clue is that you're trying to target time and Greece. And so you go, okay, ancient 2. So the clue is ancient, and the number of cards associated with that clue is 2. Now that you've said your clue and the number, you're not allowed to say anything else. And this is throughout the entire game. All you can say is the clue and the number following it. That includes like, awesome, good job, no congratulations. You can only say clue and number. So the blue team then, after hearing the clue, looks at the cards and they click or they touch one of the cards that they think is associated with that clue. If the team guesses correctly, for example, they guess time, then you can cover that card with one of your player's cards. If they are incorrect, then the card that they actually point to, for example, they say life, is covered by whatever is associated with that square. So they said life, and the top right is red. So even though it was the blue team's turn, red got a point. And then because they were wrong, their turn is over. Now let's say that the red team's turn, they say instrument 1. And the team goes, okay, I think it's a flute. So the team got it right, they can cover it up, and because they got all of the clues right, for example, I said flute 1, by them guessing one card correctly, they get an extra chance at, they can either guess or remember a past clue. The problem with this is it's risky, right? So at the beginning of the game, they got flute for 1 point. If they want to guess, they might guess the right card, but they might accidentally guess park, which is actually blue. So it would have been better for them to pass on their bonus. If the team accidentally chooses on the card, there's this black X, and it's associated with this word screen. If the team clicks on screen and selects that one, the assassin covers that card and that team loses automatically. If it's an innocent bystander though, one of the tan pieces, say they click on game, then you just cover it up with an innocent bystander piece and their turn is over. Additional rules are you can't say the actual word as a clue. For example, this says marble. Your clue can't be marble 1. If you do accidentally do that, the opposing team, say, gets to place a card automatically, plus they get their team turn on top of that. Now, and the sand timer, this is to speed things up. Sometimes it's hard for the spy master to come up with a clue, and sometimes it's hard for the team to decide what to click on for the clue. And so this is a good way of speeding up that game time. Anyone can use this timer. It can be even used on your own team if you're just tired of waiting for a decision to be made. You can flip this. It's a 2-minute timer that comes with the game. So consider that as a good way to speed up the game, as this can be long if you don't do that. And then the last really big rule is every turn you have to pick something. So you can't skip a turn. You have to guess at least one thing and hope, that it's actually the right one. Okay, now for house rules. This is one that I recently learned about, and I think it's pretty fun. And the rule is that the team can help dictate or tell the spy master what to say. So remember how you're not allowed to say anything as a spy master besides the clue and the number followed by that clue? Well, your team can look at this and go, hey, just in case you're trying to think of something, if you want to combine bat and deck, you should say Pinocchio. So you kind of help the spy master come up with the clue. It's not directly in the rules saying you can't do that, but that's definitely something I found can be kind of a fun way to not only give your spy master some ideas for what to say, but also it might throw them off. For example, they might have been looking at turkey and I was thinking of Thanksgiving when someone says, oh, if you're doing yard and gas, you should say Thanksgiving. Well, now they can't say Thanksgiving because they think you're going to click on yard and gas. So just keep that in mind, that it can also add a little bit of challenge to it. The other rule is partially using the sand timer as well as just a quick gameplay. So for example, if it's the Spy Master's turn, they just had the other team's turn to think of a clue and you don't give them any additional time. So as soon as it's your turn, you flip over the 2 minutes and you have 2 minutes for both of the teams to go, okay, and you have to come up with the clue and the team has to remember or figure out the clue before the timer runs out. And then each time it just flips over again for the next team. To add added pain for players is, if you notice with the sand timer, when you flip it over, if you get it down and you finish it out before the 2 minutes is up, you can still flip it over and there won't be as much time for the next team to figure out their clue or their skill. So there is some fun in being able to just do a flip of the timer as your strategy for making this game a little bit faster, but also it adds intensity and a lot of fun. Hopefully this game was helpful for you and you're able to enjoy Codenames as much as I am. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. As well as if you have any house rules that you recommend, include them in the comments below. I'd love to see it, and I know the community would as well. If you like this video, also consider checking out my channel for other videos about Codenames. I do strategy videos for board games, card games, how-to videos, and occasional reviews, so please check it out. And thanks again for watching this video. Enjoy playing Codenames.